A girl walking her dog found three Marines under a bridge. What came next will break you and mend you. The ice storm had turned the river path into glass. Lily Carter, 16, took it slow, boots scraping for grip, gloved hand on the leash of her black lab, Ranger. He loved bad weather. It made the world quieter, easier to smell. They reached the old county bridge just as the sun gave up behind the mill. Ranger froze. The happy tail went still, his head lifted, nose working hard into the wind. "What is it?" Lily asked, already trusting he knew. Ranger pulled, not the goofy tug he used for squirrels, but a low, insistent haul toward the embankment. He reached the guardrail, planted his front paws, and looked back at Lily like, "Here, now." Lily peered over the edge. Ice crusted the rocks. The river slid dark and fast beneath the bridge. At first she saw nothing. Then Ranger barked, a single sharp note, and she saw it. A splash of camouflage between the pilings. Then another. Shapes. People. One of them moved a hand. "Hey!" Lily shouted. "Are you okay?" A voice came back, ragged and small against the water. "Help! Please!" Her phone was already out. 911, she said into the cold air, forcing her voice steady. "Three men under the County 7 bridge. They're alive. I think they're Marines. Camo uniforms. Hypothermic. Please hurry." "Stay on the line," the operator said. "Can you reach them safely?" Lily looked at the slope. Ice. Loose gravel. A bad idea. Ranger whined and leaned his weight toward the access path. Steeper, but with brush to hold. "There's a maintenance trail on the west side," Lily said. "I can get closer." "Don't go into the water," the operator warned. "Talk to them. Keep them awake." Lily clipped Ranger's leash to the guardrail ring and slid down the path on the backs of her boots, grabbing branches in prayer. Ranger stayed above, barking in a rhythm that said this way to anyone with ears. Under the bridge, the air felt colder, like the river had teeth. Three men huddled against the concrete, soaked to the waist, faces gray with cold. The oldest, late 20s maybe, looked up through ice-stiff lashes. "We're United States Marines," he said, breath fogging. "Sergeant Michael Alvarez. This is Lance Corporal James Porter, Private First Class Evan Brooks. Our truck slid off the access road. Radio's dead. Nobody knew where we were." "How long?" Lily asked, already stripping off her scarf. "Hours," the youngest whispered. Lily shoved the scarf at the youngest. "Wrap this around your neck." She dumped Ranger's emergency kit. Her mom made her carry one after they started hiking. Hand warmers, a foil blanket, a dog towel. "Open your jackets. Tuck these on your chests. Don't put heat on numb fingers. On your core." Porter blinked, impressed and barely there. "Yes, ma'am." Sirens approached, faint at first, then nearer. "They're coming," Lily said. "Now stay with me." Ranger's bark shifted, short, excited. The rescue truck found the turnoff. Firefighters slid down the path with ropes and a litter, EMTs in heavy coats calling out vitals before they reached them. "Ma'am, you did perfect," an EMT told Lily. "Step back with me. Let us work." They wrapped the Marines in blankets that crackled, cut the frozen laces from their boots, slipped warm IV bags under armpits, checked pupils with a pen light that made Lily's own eyes water. Words like mild hypothermia and frost nip floated in the cold. Not dead. Not today. As they lifted Alvarez onto the litter, something flashed at Lily's eye level. A silver bracelet on his numb wrist, stamped with a name and dates. Sergeant Daniel Carter. She knew that bracelet. She wore the same one, smaller, under her sleeve every day. Lily's throat closed. She touched her cuff. Alvarez followed the motion with his eyes, confusion cracking through the fog. "Your bracelet," he forced out. "Daniel Carter, how do you—" "He was my dad," Lily said. The world tilted. The bridge, the river, the frozen breath. "Staff Sergeant Daniel Carter." Alvarez's face changed like a window opening. Tears came hot to cold skin. He tried to sit, and the EMT pressed him gently back. "Your dad," Alvarez said, voice breaking into pieces. He pulled me out of a blast in Sangin, 2016. We couldn't find your family after. I've been carrying this until I could. I promised, if I ever had the chance, to tell his kid what he did." Lily couldn't feel her fingers. She felt everything else. "You're telling her," she said. The EMT glanced at the bracelet and then at Lily's face and swallowed hard. "We need to move," he said softly. "You can talk at the hospital." They strapped the three Marines in, rigged ropes, and hauled them up the incline one careful foot at a time. Ranger leaned out over the guardrail, whining orders nobody argued with. At the top, a firefighter threw a wool blanket over Lily's shoulders and another under Ranger's chest. He didn't stop shaking until Lily's hand found his ear. The ER smelled like coffee and antiseptic. They cut away wet clothes and slid warm air through vents that sounded like a lullaby. Alvarez's lips pinked. Porter stopped shivering. Brooks opened his eyes and asked for his mom, and a nurse said, "We'll call her, sweetheart," in a way that meant it. When they said family can come back, Lily hesitated. She wasn't family. Then Alvarez waved her in with a hand that had color again. He handed Lily the bracelet with shaking fingers. It had been buffed shiny by time and pocket. "Issesik Daniel Carter, USMC, never forgotten." "I kept it," Alvarez said. "Not because he was gone, but because what he did wasn't. He went toward it. He always did. He said he had a little girl who liked black dogs and orange popsicles. He couldn't shut up about you." Lily laughed through it, a sound that scraped and soothed at once. "That was me. I tried to track you down after we came home," Alvarez said. "Wrong numbers. People move. Life." He shook his head. "I never stopped carrying this. I told myself I'd give it to you when I could say thank you and not just sorry." He closed her fingers around the metal. It was warm from his palm. The river's cold seemed very far away. "Thank you," Alvarez said, "for the call, for the blankets, for him. He saved me once. You saved me again." Ranger thumped his tail under the chair, satisfied and sleepy. The nurse brought Lily a styrofoam cup of hot chocolate and Ranger a stainless bowl of water because heroes wear fur too. Porter waved them over with the smug grin of a Marine who hadn't felt his toes an hour ago. Brooks admitted he'd thought they were done for, and then blushed, and then cried, and then laughed because everyone did. The next day, the story walked itself around town. The lab who wouldn't be quiet, the girl who went down the embankment, the three Marines who might have become names. The TV truck came, and Lily's mom politely kept them on the sidewalk. Alvarez asked for no cameras and one visitor. Lily. He had a coin with him, a challenge coin, edges worn. "Carter's Raiders," the back said, a joke from their unit that wasn't a joke at all. "He used to slide this across the table to make us talk about our day," Alvarez said. "I want you to have it. Tell me something about him I don't know." Lily told him about orange popsicles on the porch, and how her dad whistled off-key to drive her crazy, and how he'd taught Ranger to leave it with a bowl of chicken nuggets and a Marine's level of discipline. Alvarez told her about the day in Senyin, the dust, the blast, the way her father had grabbed him by the vest and said, "Not today, Marine," like it was an order the universe had to follow. A week later, the city council invited the Marines to the podium, but Alvarez asked for something smaller. They met at the bridge at noon, sunlight sliding off the ice. Ranger wore a blue bandana that said, "Next Kindness," because Lily had made one, and it made the firefighters grin. They bolted a small plaque to the guardrail where Ranger had barked and Lily had looked down. On this spot, a girl and her dog found 3 Marines. The chain that started years ago wasn't broken here. Below it, in tiny letters that made strangers blink hard, in memory of Issesik Daniel Carter, who went toward it. They didn't make speeches. Alvarez just put his palm on the metal and said, "We see you, Staff Sergeant." Porter saluted. Brooks cried without apology. Ranger leaned against Lily's leg until her knee felt steady. Sometimes the world gives you a second chance dressed as a stubborn dog. Sometimes a bridge holds more than traffic. Sometimes it holds a chain of promises that stretches across years and doesn't break. And sometimes the truth that wrecks you is the truth that mends you. The person you lost is still saving people, including the ones who come back to say thank you. If this story moved you, like and share it. Subscribe to Next Kindness, where the next thing that happens is grace.